You know, you've been giving away your power for your entire life, and you probably didn't even notice. Every single time you react to an insult, every time you waste your breath explaining yourself to people who just don't matter, you're handing them a piece of your peace, a little bit of your control.
So let me just ask you straight up, really think about it. When a critic leaves some nasty comment, do you feel that little twitch? That urge to defend yourself? When someone you know starts up their drama, do you feel yourself getting pulled in? That feeling right there, that's your power slipping right through your fingers.
Well, today, that pattern ends. We're going to dive into a totally different way of operating. A strategic playbook designed to reclaim every single ounce of that power you've been giving away without a second thought. It's time to become untouchable.
Okay, so the very first rule of power starts right here. And it's a huge mental shift. It's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. It's about finally understanding the incredible value of your attention and the absolutely devastating impact of your silence.
I want you to start thinking of your attention exactly like money. It's a finite resource, right? You only have so much. Every time you give it to someone, a hater, a toxic family member, a pointless argument online, you're making an investment. So what's your return? If you're investing in all that negativity, you're just draining your own account. Real power players, they guard their attention like it's gold because they know it's their most valuable asset.
And this right here shows the two different worlds. Most people, they just operate on autopilot, in that reactive mindset. They engage, they defend, and they end up totally exhausted. But the strategic mindset, that's a game changer. You filter, you ignore, and you protect your inner world at all costs. It's not about managing time, it's about managing your energy. You just don't get pulled into battles that don't serve your purpose because you've decided your peace is completely non-negotiable.
You know, most people think silence is a sign of weakness. They think if they don't respond, they've somehow lost the argument. That is completely 100% backward. The truth, silence is your sharpest weapon. It is a move so powerful, so aggressive, that it can end the game before your opponent even realizes what just happened.
And here's the psychology of why it's so devastatingly effective. See, when you argue back, you validate them. You're basically saying, hey, what you said mattered enough for me to get upset and respond. But silence? Silence says you don't even exist in my reality. It completely robs them of the reaction they desperately need, and it leaves them floating in this psychological vacuum, second-guessing their own importance.
Now, this next idea builds on that foundation of silence and takes it to a whole new level, the strategic use of absence. This isn't just about not talking anymore. This is about making people feel your absence even when you're standing right there in the room. It's about creating this powerful psychological dominance.
Now, there is a massive difference here, so pay attention. Complete withdrawal, just ghosting someone, that means you've exited the game. You've made yourself irrelevant. But strategic withdrawal, that's a whole different animal. You're still there, but you're unpredictable. Sometimes you're warm, sometimes you're distant, sometimes available, sometimes gone. This kind of unpredictability doesn't make you irrelevant, it makes you an obsession.
Let me just break down what actually happens inside their head. It's wild. First, you give them nothing, just pure silence. Their brain, which is literally hardwired to complete stories and find answers, is left with this big open loop. This creates a kind of cognitive itch that it has to scratch, so it goes into overdrive looking for a closure you are never ever going to provide. They start obsessing over the why, replaying every single interaction, and in the end, they end up fighting a war against themselves, and you're not even on the battlefield.
So, we've talked a lot about external tactics. Now, we're going to turn inward. Because the ultimate power, the real untouchable status, comes from building an unbreachable fortress inside your own mind. And it all starts by making a ruthless decision, figuring out who doesn't even deserve a place in your reality to begin with.
And I really want you to think about this. Who in your life consistently drains you, criticizes you, or tries to sabotage you? The very first step to fortifying your inner world is to identify the people who are actively weakening its foundations.
Generally, they fall into these three categories. You've got your enemies, the ones who are actively plotting against you. You've got the critics, the people who build nothing but are experts at tearing everything down. And then you have the most sneaky ones, the energy parasites. They're often disguised as friends, and they just suck you dry with their endless drama. Engaging with any of them is a strategic blunder. The only winning move is to just erase them.
This is the armor you're trying to build. And let me be clear, indifference isn't about being cold or emotionless. It's the highest form of emotional discipline. It's you deciding for yourself what gets to affect you.
It means you can be standing in the middle of a hurricane and remain perfectly calm because the chaos outside has no access code to your inner peace.
So, how do you actually build this armor? Well, you start by identifying your own weaknesses. What makes you snap? What kind of insult makes you get defensive? Those are your triggers. They're the cracks in your armor. But once you know what they are, you can consciously practice becoming indifferent to them. Over time, their opinions just become irrelevant noise. Their little attacks just bounce right off.
And now we arrive at the final level, the highest expression of power. This is where all the things we've talked about come together. It's not about fighting smarter, it's about ascending beyond the fight entirely. This is the art of calculated inaction, where you finally understand that true strength isn't in the moves you make, but in the pointless battles you refuse to fight.
This shift in mindset is just profound. Instead of frantically running around trying to defend your reputation against rumors, you develop this supreme confidence to just let your actions and your results speak for themselves. Instead of getting rattled because a competitor is copying you, you starve them of the attention that they crave. You recognize that their focus on you is actually your strategic advantage, because while they're busy watching you, you're busy moving forward.
I mean, just think about that. While everyone else is burning through their energy on all these pointless little squabbles, you are conserving yours for what truly matters. You win by refusing to play their game. You ascend by refusing to sink to their level.
So we've gone on a journey here, from being reactive and, frankly, powerless, to being strategic and untouchable. This isn't just a handful of cool tactics, it's a fundamental shift in how you operate in the world. It's a new reality that you create for yourself.
And this is the transformation, right here in a nutshell. You go from automatic reaction to calculated indifference. You stop wasting your breath explaining yourself, and instead, you learn to wield the incredible power of silence. You stop fighting pointless battles, and you just ascend above them entirely.
But listen, here's the most crucial part of this whole thing. Knowing this stuff is useless without actually applying it. This only works if you commit, starting this very moment. The next time someone tries to bait you into an argument, you know what to do. The next time you feel that urge to defend your ego, you resist. Your new reality, it begins right now.
Because when it all comes down to it, your power was never really taken from you. You've just been giving it away for free. So the real question is, now that you know the rules of the game, are you finally ready to take it all back?